What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and today I've got another book review for you, and I'm going to be talking about Where Dragonflies Dance by A. Medina. This is book 2 in his Claybrook County Chronicles series, I guess you'd say. I have not read book 1. Book 1 is called Siphon, but I watched a few videos and read some reviews of this one, and you don't have to have read the first book, Siphon, to understand or enjoy this one. Apparently there's a slight tie-in at the very end, but the story overall, they're completely separate. You don't have to have read the first one, like I said. But after reading this one and reading some reviews about the first book, it seems like he's sort of tying his stories in together and building towards sort of a shared universe, if you will, which I find really cool. I definitely want to get and read Siphon, the first book, as well, because book 3 is coming out sometime soon, I believe. So I definitely want to read book 3 since I've read the second book. Like I said, this is called Where Dragonflies Dance. I'm going to read the description real quick, and then I'll get into my thoughts and everything on the book. Eric Host was in an accident. When he awoke, not only was his 12-year-old daughter missing, but so was his memory of that day. Almost 2 months later, and there is still no sign of his daughter, Melinda, until she found him. Dragged through an emotional and painful minefield, Eric unravels the mystery of his daughter's disappearance. So yeah, this book starts out where our main character, Eric, he's been in an accident sort of recently. I think it's maybe been, like I said, it's been about 2 months or so since his accident. And it was a car accident, and it was a life-altering, life-changing accident. Something happened to him during the accident. I don't really want to give too much away, but it drastically changed his life, how he lives his day-to-day life, how he copes, how he's able to work and get around and do things, his relationship with his wife. His daughter is missing on top of that. From what he can remember, like it says, he sort of has amnesia since the accident, a little bit before the accident. He doesn't remember sort of the day or two before the accident or the accident itself. But somewhere right around his accident, his daughter went missing, and she hasn't been found. They're not sure if she's alive, if she's dead. But I believe in the book it says it's been about 52 days since she disappeared. And sort of the case has kind of gone cold. The detectives, they don't have any new leads on it or anything. So Eric and his wife, I believe her name was Julia, they're just sort of in this limbo stage with the sort of loss of their daughter, as far as she's not there anymore, but they're not sure if she's safe somewhere, if she's alive, what's going on with her, and they're dealing with the grief. Eric himself is dealing with the grief from his auto accident and what happened to him, and the grief of his daughter, and he has just all this emotional baggage and pent up, energy and stuff inside of him that he just can't seem to get out. And he sort of starts to, like it says in the description, he sort of starts to see his daughter, and she's sort of off, and he sort of chases her sometimes, and he can never catch up to her, can never actually find her. But we as the readers, we don't know if Eric is, and it seems like Eric himself, if he's actually seeing his daughter, if these are just sort of hallucinations, if this is sort of PTSD from his accident, and the tragedy that his daughter's missing. So it's sort of, like I said, we don't know if these things are real and in reality what's really going on, or if this is something his traumatized mind is conjuring up to try to deal with the loss of his daughter in some way. This book is really good. I really liked it. It delves deep into, like I said, the loss and grief of not only losing a child possibly, but losing part of your ability to do your day-to-day since Eric was in this accident. So he's got two sorts or types of grief going on. This physical grief related to his accident, and this emotional and mental grief, relating to his daughter. But this was the first time I've ever read anything by A.A. Medina, and from sort of the brief description and the title, I really didn't know what I was getting into. But I'm really glad I read it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great read. And some books, you know, they have the title in the story somewhere, how the title came to be. I was reading along, and in the back of my mind, I was curious where this title came from, Where Dragonflies Dance. And once that's revealed, I really liked how it was revealed, how it played out in the story to be the title of the book. I thought that was a really nice touch. But it's beautifully written. It's, you know, it's heartbreaking, it's chilling. And I've been using this word a lot, but it's bleak at the end. And this book takes us to places, takes us to a dark places that I wasn't expecting the story to go. And if you're a parent, that's a place that a parent would never want to go. Just sort of a gut punch, and you could sort of, at least I could sort of see where it was going to go a few pages ahead, and I was sort of dreading what was going to happen, what it was building up to. But in no way is, in me saying that, was this predictable at all. But there was this sense of, and this dread building up. It's like, oh man, something good is not going to happen. And when something happens, it's just sort of heartbreaking. And like I said, it's bleak and it's emotional. And that speaks to the storytelling and the writing of the author. You know, if the writing wasn't good, you know, there wouldn't be that emotional impact that it has on the readers. So the writing was, like I said, really well done. I really enjoyed his writing. And like I said, it took me to a dark place that I wasn't really expecting to go with this story. And like I said earlier, Eric sort of has amnesia. So I really enjoy that we as the reader are along on this journey with Eric and learning things and finding out, you know, unraveling this mystery about what happened with him in his accident, what happened to his daughter. And as Eric starts to sort of get pieces back of his memory, recalling the days before the accident, you know, around what happened with the accident and things, we learn those pieces along with the character. So that was really fun, that we're learning along with the character as they're learning and remembering things that had happened. I really enjoyed that. But overall, this is a short book. It was a novella. I think it was like 100 or so pages, a little over 100 pages. But I really, really enjoyed it. I gave this 4 stars. It's sort of horror, but not really. It's more sort of a psychological, you know, I don't want to say thriller, but psychological sort of slow burn. But it does have some horrific scenes in there that were really well done. But that's all I really want to say about it. But like I said, I gave this 4 stars. It's Where Dragonflies Dance by A.A. Medina. It's part of a series, it seems like. First book being Siphon. I really want to pick that up soon and read that one. And there's a 3rd book coming out soon as well, where I think maybe book 1 and 2 are sort of tying together more. But this comes out, I did get a copy from the author for review consideration. This actually comes out, according to Amazon, on February 8th from Apothic Realm. But if you've read Dragonflies Dance, I'd like to hear your thoughts about it down in the comment section. If you liked it, didn't like it, or if you've read the first book, Siphon, if you like that one as well, what your thoughts were about that one. I'd like to hear about your thoughts before I read it myself. But that's all I have to say about it. Again, this has been Where Dragonflies Dance by A.A. Medina. That's all I have for y'all today. So thanks for spending your time with me. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.